if I die tomorrow, I hope you hear these words. I ain't here to flip no birds or sip no syrup. Hope the future generations can get this urge. Stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
Welcome back to another awesome episode of Nerds Arounds, guys. It's your host, Sebastian.
Boy Long.
And your boy Tone from across the hall.
As always, we like to bring out great creators talking about what they're doing. So this is another creator series. This creator series, we get to feature Lauren Clover. Lauren, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
We're good.
Hanging in there.
We're good.
Hey,
You're like, I'm alive. Don't ask me much more.
I'm alive. You know, like those posters
Bare
with the cat,
minimum.
just hanging in there, man. Just hang in there.
Just the bar's low. We're just gonna be able to step over it.
That's it.
Solo.
So, Lauren, you're on the episode. You're back. You were on our live. We were talking fun stuff. We were talking, I believe we were talking Cap and Winter Soldier. Oh, no, we were talking Mortal Kombat.
No.
We're talking about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, we're talking about
Kombat.
Kombat.
I'm sorry. We were talking about Trash Combat. That's what we're talking about.
That was rough. Oh, that was rough.
That was rough.
You were a very good sport about it. Like, such a good sport.
Yeah.
We let's be honest. We all came for the Kimbo rant. That's what we did.
Yes,
Yo.
that was
Oh,
That
that was
was best.
amazing. That was
Indeed.
amazing.
But now let's get into the meat and bones of this, because again, we know that you're a phenomenal cosplayer. Again, you're an actress. You've acted in quite a few films and TV shows. But you did something that was really, 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 really awesome. Because when we had this conversation, we were talking about Dungeons and Dragons, but then you're like, "Oh, I did this thing. It's called Witch Mart," which you've done with other cosplayers, which is taking the storm on TikTok. So, what led to the creation of Witch Mart? Please, let's get into
For the people who have no idea what we're talking about right now, could you like give them like a what this is?
so with TikTok, what has become popular is a version of LARPing called virtual LARPing. So for those of you who don't know what LARPing is, it's live action role playing. It's taking on a character and dressing up as the character, creating your own original character, OC, as we just refer to it as. But especially with the world shutting down, a lot of TikTok tags, using hashtags to be able to find these particular LARPs, have come out. So the first one I joined was created by a bunch of friends of mine called Element Allies. And out of that, a few other tags were created. And with Element Allies, it was, you could be a human, you could be an elemental, and you had this storyline of trying to find the balance because humanity's kind of destroying the earth, and you have a lot of angry elementals, and then you have the people, and you have, the humans that don't care, and then you have the people in between elementals and humans that are trying to come together to find the balance and fix everything. Okay. So it's this storyline, and you can kind of make yourself a protagonist, antagonist, you're a hero of your own story, interacting with some of these main characters that are trying to lead you through this story and lead you through your character story as you're living through the overworld. Mm-hmm. So there are some other tags that are similar to that. There are other tags that are just completely open. It's just, here's the map of this world. Here's the type of people who live in this world. Good luck, everybody. Like, create your character. You exist. But with Witchmarked, we created a world where you have witches, you have witch hunters, and you have the people who kind of live in between. So you have these witches who are born with magic. Well, they get their mark once they turn 13, essentially. They get a mark which shows that they're witches. They choose their alignment to one of 3 priestesses, which allows them access to certain types of magic. But where they go from there is up to them. It's kind of like, it's not the weapon that's dangerous, it's the person wielding it. And then you have the witch hunters who kind of see all witches as evil. And you have the humans, the people in between, that they're kind of living in this world where there's this war essentially going on between the witches and the witch hunters, trying to figure out, well, are all witches bad? Or are some witches bad? Are the witch hunters right? Are the witch hunters dangerous themselves? So that's kind of the story that we're telling.
Did you have the idea before the pandemic, and then like the pandemic happened and you made it happen virtually, or was the plan always to like be virtual with this, at least the storyline?
So the storyline actually comes from a book I was writing back in college.
Okay.
So the basic idea and my character. It, not all of the details, but a lot of the main idea behind it, of this world, and the fact that, you have this fear of the unknown, but the need for everybody to come together because there's possibly a greater evil on the horizon and a need for understanding. However, when I decided to resurrect this story, I met a lot of people I didn't know. So, I mean, there's a good portion of people that I met through other tags who joined me in creating Witch Marked. When you come across certain sound bites, you save them and you're like, okay, so the next time I'm in this character, I'm going to use these sound bites. And, it might not further your character story, but it might just be fun. And it also shows, your character's personality.
So what's been the funniest soundbite that you've come across?
There's one soundbite, I think 3 of us have used it so far. And it's somebody narrating, acceptable responses to being stabbed. Rude. Are you gonna want this back, or can I keep this? That's fair.
That's amazing.
That's funny.
And usually it's just the person, whoever's filming it will time out each response and just, do that little bit. And then, responding back to it. Also, there's one of our players did this one soundbite, and there's no voice. It's just the sound of scraping, like a scraping chair making music. And he's like, bum, 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 bum. But it's a chair that's scraping. And their character was kidnapped again. And it's just them hopping.
Did you say kidnapped again? Do we need to put them in WITSEC? Like, are they okay?
Who's been your favorite NPC to play?
Oh, I love when we have to make them pick children.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite?
Pick your favorite child.
Yep.
Who's my favorite child? Oh, that's so tough. I guess my favorite OC to play probably right now is Emerus.
Why is
so,
Emerus?
As much as I love Geo over at Element Allies.
So why Emerus?
He's probably the closest to me personality wise.
Okay.
In a sense. So, and just a lot more quicker in thought than I am.
Is it easier to fall into his character versus someone like Geo?
I mean, Geo's pretty simple. There's another character that I play in Stardust Smuggler's Caster, and he's the absolute hardest to portray. And then I have there's another character from another tag called 2690 Rise of the Beast, and it's a post-apocalyptic tag where humans are gone and these hybrids of animal humans are kind of running things.
Okay.
And the character that I play in that, her name is Era, and she's a white wolf hybrid.
Okay.
And she is psycho. She is out of her mind. She is
like Borderlands Psycho.
like Harley Quinn meets Mazikeen.
Ooh.
Oh,
damn.
So
how do
she
you
is.
How do you even start to get into that kind of headspace?
Do you even have fan art for that? I want to see it.
Oh, that's dope. Have you been looking forward to like being outside of like this pandemic and like doing these like do these have any application like in real life, like
to do like a photo shoot or something?
Oh no, just like LARPing like back to the old ways outside of the virtual space.
Yes and no, only because a lot of the thing that virtual LARPing has given us is the ability to LARP with people that we would never be able to be with. A good portion of our LARPers are from all over. So there's me in Vermont, which, I mean, it's a 4-hour drive to get back to Long Island. So half the admins are on Long Island. The other half are in Florida.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But, I mean, in Rise of the Beast, the people who created that tag are in Italy.
Scrolling through your TikTok, kind of looking at all your OCs, noticed, you had mentioned, Caster. I see that you did a new one, Draco for Kingdom of Stars. I see Alcyon. You also mentioned Rue and how Rue has a connection to you. But what is your process for creating these original characters? Are you picking from certain themes from like some of your favorite characters? Are you just trying to be a different person that you haven't been before? You just kind of, because you have so many, how do you do it? I mean, I know we've all kind of, create different Dungeons and Dragons characters, but we're picking characters and putting them onto a sheet and picking some numbers. You're like creating
my split personalities.
From the ground up and like doing it up
They're
visually.
all of me. I guess the best way to describe it, I mean, a good portion of the characters are a version of characters that I have written before. But every character and everything that I have written, one of the best ways I can write is that no matter what I'm writing, I like to cast my characters. So all my characters are usually based off of people I know in real life. Okay. Sometimes they're an exaggeration of somebody. Mm-hmm. So all of my characters do have a version of me, but then they have characters that I relate them to, that I kin them to.
Do these people know that you have characters of them?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, like
oh man.
Nobody needs to know.
I love that.
I love it.
That's the new jingle. So if someone is new and wanted to join Witchmark, what would they have to do? Like, how are some people able to get involved, and what are some of the steps for them, the beginning steps and all that?
So the beginning steps would be to